One thing I'm finding harder to do is enjoy my free time. I feel like I always have to fill in every dead space in my day. I'm not happy if I'm not doing something. If I'm trying to enjoy myself, if I'm trying to relax and find some entertainment, maybe playing a game or watching a film and so on, my brain is always telling me that I should do something else. And also I tend to feel a bit of apathy while doing those activities. I try to distract myself as much as possible, maybe listening to a podcast or to a YouTube video while also playing a video game, and maybe also drinking coffee or some type of food. Bombarding yourself with stimulants of various forms. You're sort of trying to shut your brain off and to give it so much stimuli that it all becomes the same thing. Maybe it's also due to the fact that in today's times, it's hard to do stuff that feels necessary to your everyday life. We're not searching for food, we're not building shelter, and so on. We could say that maybe luckily all those things are taken care of, but you also have to also work. Generally speaking, the job is only a means to earn money, and we don't feel sort of a relationship with what we're doing and how useful it is. And for that reason comes the feeling of not being fulfilled, and then apathy in our everyday life and in our free time also. If the thing you're doing every day, it feels like something you should be doing, your free time will be that much more enjoyable, and you will be able to actually enjoy that free time and maybe take a bit of time off, or also don't feel the need to take a time off. But when you do, every hour feels necessary. It feels like you've earned that free time. But most of the times it just seems like we use our free time to escape what we're doing in our everyday job. And I don't think that it is strange that your free time in that instance doesn't feel fulfilling. You just feel like you have to numb yourself to get through it also. But maybe the fact that you want to be productive in your free time is just your body telling you that something isn't right. You're not fulfilled in what you're doing and you have to change something. There is also the other side of the coin, and maybe another possible explanation of just like being unable to enjoy just taking leisure time, and you have to always feel like you have to be productive and doing stuff. Maybe it has to do with self-worth and problems around how we view it and how we view our personal worth as humans. We feel like we have to prove ourselves in every second of our day. We can't just enjoy free time. This can also be an explanation. I personally generally find that when I feel like I'm progressing towards something, when I'm doing something I should be doing, and I feel like I'm in the right path, I tend to be able to enjoy every bit of free time I have. And I use it actually to, energize myself. I just don't feel like I'm slogging away in my free time, just numbing myself. Obviously, these two elements can be both present. So a sort of distorted sense of worth, but also doing something we enjoy and feeling like what we're doing is actually necessary to us. But maybe there is something to be said about general activities that as human beings, as animals, we feel to be useful. For example, when you're exercising, when you're walking, when you're outside, for me, you generally feel better. Like all these thoughts about what you should be doing can temporarily stop. And so maybe doing stuff with our bodies and being active as our ancestors did, just to live, finding food, building shelter and so on, is just what we need to actually be satisfied. But in this day and age, we don't have it anymore. And nowadays, all that stimuli is just like what we need to be able to cope in a way and to just keep our heads above the water for a bit and be able to work another week. And I also think that being a thinker rather than a doer can be a problem in this sense. Even if you're someone that likes to ponder and think a lot about stuff, you need to actually create something from it. Whether that is just elaborating what you've studied, producing something that can be a painting, maybe a comic, a book, whatever it is, you need to do something. You need to get your hands dirty. In fact, I sometimes envy people that are more doers, because I think that helps you just keep your mind to the present and grounded in what you're doing, and not go into these, spiral of thoughts and overthinking that just bring you nowhere and actually keep you stuck and unfulfilled. And I'm not saying that we all should go into the forest and just live as our ancestors did, even because it's hard to do, and we also maybe lost the ability to do it, because a big part of it is just having a community and people with which to survive together. So it's not something you can do by yourself. But maybe it's an interesting thought to think about the fact that all this entertainment we have, all this technology, is just maybe a substitute to what we used to be able to get from normal survival. We just survived, and by survival, we found fulfillment. But nowadays, we don't have that fulfillment that derives from maybe earning that survivability. But we have to work to, buy money to get those things, but we don't earn them necessarily. And I think it's the reason why it can be so satisfying to build something with your own hands, build like a furniture, or even like writing something. The process of actually, creating and bringing to the world something, not just thinking about it. The ability to think is good because it helps you survive. So by thinking, we can find new ways to continue living. We can discover how to make fire. We can discover how to build tools and so on. Nowadays, we still have that thinking power, but we're lacking the thing to which apply our thinking capabilities. And that's why it is easy to find distractions, find entertainment, to just not think about it, to just, numb ourselves. Because even if you find something, let's say like a hobby where you're using your hands and so on, you're problem solving, you always feel like it's just something you're doing as if it's a hack to your brain. You don't feel like that's something that's necessary, for example. I don't know if what I said made sense, but something I was thinking about. And I'm sorry if my last videos were very similar in the type of content and topic they were discussing, but that's something I've been thinking about lately. And let me know what you think, and see you in the next video.